Good evening YouTube, welcome to my channel. It's Nick the Gardener and I'm just doing a quick allotment tour. So the flowers in the little corner here all looking quite pretty, and nasturtiums and cosmos and candy tuft. This little honesty is taking ages to get going, but it's still growing very slowly, and obviously the sunflowers, what I put out ages ago, are still growing very slowly, but they're creeping up. So the onions doing pretty well, starting to bulb up nicely. I will start to harvest some of these soon, as I think I might have onion white rot up here, or root rot, whatever it's called. So most of these onions are doing okay here by the looks of it, but there's a red onion over here what I'd bolted. Yeah, sorry about all the weeds, I haven't really weeded yet, just pulled a few thistles out. But there's an onion in here and it had bolted, so I thought I'll just chop it up, have it with dinner, and it just came out so easily. But I mean, yeah, I don't know, I'm probably going to harvest most of these soon. I'm going to take them out well, sooner rather than later, because if they've got onion white rot, then yeah, they're not going to do so well. So they're all pretty much all bolted anyway, so I'm just going to start taking out the biggest ones and using them as and when. Same with these onions here. So, like I say, some of them organ up quite nicely, and I did plant a couple in the odd space by mistake. In this little brassica cage here, it's suffered with a bit of flea beetle and that, but we've still got it. You can't see it through here or anything, but these cauliflowers seem to be pulling through, and so does the broccoli, and purple sprouting broccoli, so that's looking good. The Chioggia beetroot, I just climbed in amongst all this cage here with all the chard and everything, and the kale, and harvested some, which I'll show you in a minute. And whilst I was ferreting around in there, because one thing I'm going to do differently next year, I'll just take a step back so you can see. I've got 3 brassica cages there, and I'm pretty skinny, but yeah, that's one big mistake I made this year, was putting the cages far too close together, which I wasn't expecting to do. These 2 cages, I was just going to do this one, and just creep down the rows or whatever, but I didn't realise how much pests and stuff. So next year I'm still going to have all the cages, probably have 4 cages along here, but evenly spaced out so I can get in between. So yeah, trying to get in and weed amongst here and everything is an absolute nightmare, and harvest and everything. So yeah, it's definitely one mistake I made this year, which I'm not going to make next year, hopefully. I was just trying to cram too much in, basically. So in here, I think the cauliflowers are starting to heart up now. I've got fairly big leaves on, so hopefully they should do well. Onions along here not doing too badly. Like I say, I've got a weed along that edge and stuff. It's such a nightmare. I've planted leeks along there. I planted leeks on the inside. So yeah, that's one thing definitely going to do differently next year, is not cram so much in all in close proximity. So yeah, the chard, not chard, the kale down here doesn't look too bad from here. Once I get in there, it's had quite a lot of damage to it from various things like whitefly and flea beetle and stuff. So I think next year I'm going to buy a finer mesh and just grow the kale in the finer mesh, I think. So nasturtium's still doing really well, but it's not got many flowers on, but it's got a few on this side actually. So my courgettes are doing really well. I've been harvesting a few off each one. So this one in here, though, see if I can get a better angle. That one in there is doing really well. Just a bit of a size comparison with my finger. So I've got another one under there. And we've got See, I'm not entirely convinced that these two are the same variety, because that one there and that one there, they look different. And this one looks different as well. So I looked at home and I've actually got 3 seed packets of courgettes, so I may have got more muddled up with my seed. I've got muddled up with nearly every single seed this year, just about. So next year I'm going to have to sort it out. So on my squash here, it's sent off a runner and it was on the floor, and there's a few bit of slug activity around here, as you can see, with all the long grass and raspberries over there. So I had these little spare cages, I've got 3 of them, so I thought I'd get it up off the floor and get it running along there, and then I'll, you know, put more on and train it all the way around. So this is just some of the harvest what I've had out from underneath the brassica cage. Got some kale here. Well, this is about the only decent bit I could find really, because I hadn't got too much damage on it. Some spinach, some chard, some more chard. This white chard's really prolific. And my first Chioggia beetroot. So we'll be having that in some salads shortly, and yeah, probably gonna pick this courgette tonight. So getting a bit sick of courgettes, to be honest, but I've only just started having them. But yeah, I'm gonna have to get some new recipes. So rhubarb's still going well, and the transplanted rhubarb's doing well, so that should be okay for next year. I won't harvest any of that this year. I mean, I don't need to because I've still got this. I put my 3 trees in the water butt thing here just because they were so dry. I just can't keep on top of watering them. And the cherries this year are looking really good. I don't know if you can see the cherries under here, but they're ripening up nicely. And just put them in the water just so they didn't drop off really. So yeah, a couple of days more, I mean, that one would have been ripe. It looks like the blackbirds had a little nibble at it. That's a shame. So Meadow's little flower bed starting to come along now. I popped the little flowers that are in there. I don't know what I was thinking putting them in there, so I dug them up and popped it back in here with all the other flowers. And clary is just starting to flower this year, which I wasn't expecting. Both of them. That's quite nice. And there's Sweet Williams over here as well. Sweet Williams. I do really like that one. And nasturtiums, just one little flower on there. And the hollyhocks have actually sprung into life now. Little bee on the I can't really see. There's a candy tuft. So red currants come in, little butterfly. All looking good. Make some red currant jelly soon, hopefully. And some gooseberry jelly. Nice little gooseberries in there. So my partner came up to pick some the other day and she prickled herself a few times, bless her. But she put them in a smoothie. And got some black currants coming, which I've never had black currants before, so I'm really, well, not fresh ones off the allotment or anything, off anyone's allotment, so really looking forward to them. So the compost bin, there's been no more holes appear on the top for the rat issue or anything. No more holes in this one. And the strawberries, I've actually got a couple of strawberries under here as well. Oh, a few. So, well, not quite ripe yet. That one's not, yeah, they'll be alright. A load of these little wild ones. Another one under there. So yeah, might have some strawberries tonight. And sunflower, the volunteer sunflower. It's doing quite well actually, it's got a nice thick stem on it. Peas. Hearst green shaft peas. This must be one tough pea. It survived everything. If it wasn't an F1, I'd save these seeds. Oh, I've got another pea here, look. That's doing alright. So not a complete disaster, but you know, you make a mistake, you learn from it. So next year will be much better. So I've got in some flowers on my snow peas now. They're starting to creep up. They're doing really well. There's cosmos, looking lovely. And a little marigold under there, which hasn't got no sun at all, but it's got a tiny little flower bud, and it survived. So he must be tough as well. This sunflower now is taller than me. It's taller, just taller than the post now, and it's got lots of flower heads on it. Little ladybird just under there. This other sunflower, I think that might be a Russian giant, but it's not as big as the other one. So I'll just put some more mulch on the potatoes in between and that. Maybe get some thunderstorms tomorrow, so hopefully that'll give everything a good douse down. So I'll put some more mulch down to keep the moisture in and the heat off. Everything's looking good. So yeah, thank you for joining me with my quick allotment tour. If anyone's got any questions or anything, how I've done anything, then yeah, please pop in the comment section. So yeah, please like, share, subscribe, and thank you for watching. Please take care. Goodbye.